Hello everyone. So in this video we will discuss first topic of unit first for subject network analysis and synthesis. Topic is nodal analysis. So here first we will discuss nodal analysis with independent source, and here I am considering a current source as an independent source. So before starting nodal analysis, we have to know what is a independent source, what is a dependent source. So an ideal independent source is an active element that provides a specified voltage or current that is completely independent of other circuit elements. So in the circuit diagram, we can easily see that we have two current source. First current source of value 2 ampere, second current source of value 4 ampere. So first will also define independent source. Second will also define independent source. We will discuss in detail what is independent source, what is a dependent source in online class. So here I am giving just an introduction of independent source and dependent source. In 12th class or in BTech first year in electrical engineering, all of you have seen representation for voltage source, for current source, for independent current source, for independent voltage source, and also for dependent current source and dependent voltage source. But according to the diagram, we have two current sources and both will define independent current source. So basically, an ideal independent source is an active element that provides a specified voltage or current that is completely independent of other circuit elements. And an ideal dependent, or you can say controlled source, is an active element in which source quantity is controlled by another voltage or current. We will discuss in detail what is a dependent source in next video class. So before going for the numerical, we have to know what is a nodal analysis. So in nodal analysis, we will define node voltages. Nodal analysis provides a general procedure for analyzing any circuit using node voltages as the circuit variables. In nodal analysis, we will find the node voltages according to the circuit with the help of generally three steps. We have generally three steps. In first step, we will select a node as the reference node. After that, we will assign voltages to the remaining nodes. Then the voltages are referenced with respect to the reference node. This is step 1. In second step, we will apply KCL to each of the non-reference node, and according to Ohm's law, we can define the branch currents in terms of the node voltages. In third step, we can solve the resulting simultaneous equations to obtain the unknown node voltages. So here we have circuit diagram. According to the circuit diagram, we want to calculate the node voltage and branch currents as per the nodal analysis. So already I told you in nodal analysis, first we will define reference node. So first we will define reference node. After that we will define non-reference node. So here we have two non-reference node. First non-reference node, second non-reference node. Total we have three nodes. This is my reference node, and you know, for reference node we have zero potential. This is my non-reference node, first non-reference node. This is my second non-reference node. Suppose this node is capital A and this node is capital B. Here we will define potential at node A. Suppose VA. Suppose potential at node V is VB. So here we want to calculate the node voltage, means VA, V subscript A, and node voltage for node B, that means VB. After that we can calculate branch currents, means current in 1/3 ohm, current through 1/5 ohm resistor, current through 1/4 ohm resistor. If we know node voltage VA, node voltage VB, after that we can easily define branch currents for the given circuit using nodal analysis. So let us assume, before going for calculation, let us assume current in 1/3 ohm resistor. Suppose it is I1. Let us assume current in 1/5 ohm resistor. Suppose it is I2. Direction we can assume either incoming to the node or outgoing from the node. Okay, so it is just assumption. Now let us assume current in 1/4 ohm resistor. Suppose it is I3. So we have branch currents I1, I2 and I3, and we have node voltages VA and VV, and we have branch currents I1, I2 and I3. So we can define relationship between 2 ampere I1 and I2 for node A according to KCL. So to establish a relationship between 2 ampere current source I1 and I2, first we will apply KCL at node A. So already we have seen Kirchhoff current law in 12th class, and also in BTech first year in electrical engineering. So according to KCL, the total current or charge entering a junction or node is exactly equal to the charge leaving the node, as it has no other place to go except to leave, as no charge is lost within the node. Or in simple word we can say algebraic sum of all the currents entering and leaving a node must be equal to 0. What is KCL? According to KCL, the algebraic sum of all the currents entering and leaving a node must be equal to 0. Or you can say current entering the node is equal to the current leaving the same node. So first we will apply KCL at node A. So according to KCL at node A, we have incoming current 2 ampere and we have outgoing currents I1 and I2. So according to KCL, for node A, 2 equal to I1 plus I2. Sum of incoming currents at node A is equal to sum of outgoing currents from node A. 2 ampere current source is my incoming current for node A, and I1 is my outgoing current from node A. I2 is also my outgoing current from node A. That's why from KCL for node A we have 2 equal to I1 plus I2. Now let us put the value of I1 as per Ohm's law. So we have I1, it is VA minus 0 divided by 1 by 3. We know V equal to IR. So we have I equal to V upon R. I1 means current in 1 by 3 ohm resistor, and one end of resistor is connected with node A, second node is connected with reference node. So potential difference becomes BA minus 0. R we know 1 by 3 ohm, that's why I becomes V over R, means VA minus 0 divided by 1 by 3. And here we are taking VA minus 0 because according to the direction of the current, we can say A is at higher potential as compared to reference node, because we know current will flow from higher potential to lower potential. So that's why potential difference becomes VA minus 0. So I1 becomes VA minus 0 divided by 1 by 3. Similarly, we can define I2. It is current in 1 over 5 ohm resistor. So I2 becomes BA minus BB divided by 1 by 5. Because resistor is connected between node A and node B, according to the direction of the current, we can say potential difference becomes VA minus BB. because current will flow from higher potential to lower potential. That's why I2 becomes BA minus BB divided by 1 by 5. So after solving the equation, we have after simplifying the equation, we have 2 equal to 3VA plus 5BA minus 5BB, or you can say 8VA minus 5BB equal to 2. So this is my first equation. This is my first equation. Now we can define second equation from KCL for node B. So if we apply KCL at node B, we can write relationship between currents according to incoming current at node B. We have I2. Incoming current at node B, we have 4 ampere. So I2 plus 4 equal to I3 is outgoing current from node B. So according to KCL, for node B, sum of incoming currents at node B is equal to sum of outgoing currents from node B. So for node B, we have sum of incoming currents I2 plus 4, and we have sum of outgoing currents from node B, it is I3. So as per KCL for node B, we have I2 plus 4 equal to I3. Now let us put the value of I2. Already we have seen I2 is VA minus BB divided by 1 by 5 plus 4 equal to I3. I3, it is current in 1 by 4 ohm resistor. So according to Ohm's law, we can define the value of I3. It is VB minus 0 divided by 1 by 4, because according to the diagram, 1 by 4 ohm resistor is connected between node B and reference node, and according to our assumption for I3, or according to the direction of I3, we can write potential difference as VB minus 0. So current in 1 by 4 ohm resistor is given by VB minus 0 divided by 1 by 4, or you can say it is I3. Already we have assumed. So I3 is VB minus 0 divided by 1 by 4, or we can write it as VA minus BB divided by 1 by 5 minus VB divided by 1 by 4 equal to minus 4. Let us simplify. So when we simplify the equation, we have 5BA minus 5BB minus 4BB equal to minus 4, or we have 5BA minus 9BB equal to minus 4. This is my second equation. With the help of calculator, we can easily solve the equation first and second. So after solving first equation and second equation, we have a value of BA equal to 0.8 8085 volt. This is potential or node voltage, potential at node A or first node voltage VA. So this is my node voltage for node A. We also have VB, it is a 0.8936 volt. This is also a node voltage or potential at node B. So this is my answer for the node voltage for BA and for VB. Now let us see how we can calculate the branch currents. So first branch current I1 is given by, we know I1 is VA over 1 by 3. So we have 0.8085. B already we have calculated. So 0.8085 divided by 1 by 3. So we have 2.4255 ampere. This is my first branch current, or you can say current in 1 by 3 ohm resistor, current through 1 by 3 ohm resistor. Second branch current I2, already we have seen it is given by BA minus BB divided by 1 by 5. Let us put the value of BA, it is 0.8085. Put the value of BB, it is 0.8936 over 1 by 5. After simplifying with the calculator, we have I2 minus 0.4255 ampere. Similarly, third branch current I3 is given by BB over 1 by 4. Put the value of BB, it is 0.8936. So I3 0.8936 over 1 by 4. So we have answer for third branch current, it is 3.5744 ampere. So I1, I2, I3 will define branch currents. So we have node voltage and branch currents for the given circuit according to nodal analysis. Because here first we are calculating node voltage. That's why we are saying we are calculating branch currents according to nodal analysis. Thank you.